Good evening, Year 9. Apologies for the issues we had earlier with technology. I'm going to make this recording for you now and take you through GCSE Food and Nutrition and what the course actually entails. Thank you for your patience, and again, apologies for what happened earlier. So, what are the aims of GCSE Food and Nutrition? What we're aiming for you to do is to learn all about food in its widest sense. For example, what the food is composed of, the nutrients that it contains, and how our diet can affect our long-term health and well-being. You will learn how food can be prepared skillfully and safely to produce nutritious meals for many different people at various life stages, really from weaning at 6 months right up to old age. We will look right across the spectrum. You will learn to develop a wide range of practical skills to a high standard. You will know what happens to ingredients when you prepare and cook them. For example, you learn about how nutrients are sometimes lost and the chemical changes that can occur in some foods. You will understand how the food choices people make can affect the global environment and its resources. And you will learn how to become an informed and thoughtful consumer of food. So this takes us to the subject content. What do we cover? You want to know what's going to happen throughout Year 10. Our focus in Year 10 is very much about building up our practical skills and developing underpinning knowledge that is essential for the controlled assessments and for the final exam in Year 11. So the following 5 areas are all integrated into all practical lessons. For example, we'll be looking at food, the nutrients that it contains, and how that helps our health and well-being. We look at food science, what the ingredients are made from. Sometimes have to look sometimes on a molecular level when it comes to looking at things like flours. We look at food safety. You will learn how to prepare, handle, store, cook food safely so that it doesn't harbor any pathogenic bacteria that might make you or somebody else that eats your food ill. We will look at food choice. We will look at food provenance. That is looking at where our food comes from. The assessments. The assessments are all carried out in Year 11. So at the very start of Year 11, the exam board will send down the first controlled assessment task. This is worth 15% of your GCSE and it is completed. It's a 12-hour task that is completed by October half term. I'll explain a little bit more about that on the next slide about the food science investigation. The second NEA task will come down at the beginning of November and it is worth 35% of your total GCSE. This task is a little bit longer. It will involve an element of research and there are always a choice of topics. We generally speaking have 3 choices of topic. Currently Year 11s are looking this year at the dietary needs of young children. They're looking at a diet for somebody who has cardiovascular disease, or they are looking at the food of Italy. All of these tasks will have, like I said, written work. And we will be studying the diets in each topic basically and discussing nutrients in depth and detail. At the end of Year 11, you have a written paper, a written exam paper that's generally you will do in May or June, depending on when the exam boards dictate. It will be a 1 hour and 45-minute paper. So we're talking now about our NEA tasks, a little bit more information on those. Collectively, the 2 tasks are worth 50% of your GCSE. And as I explained earlier, they will be finished by February of Year 11. So after the February half term, you have more than enough time to start preparing for the external paper. You will be preparing for the written paper really from February up until May. In the top photograph on the left, you see an example of students who are carrying out a food science investigation. And in this investigation, they are looking at the protein content of different flours. And you can see that they have carried out an experiment to extract the gluten, the protein, and it's sitting in front of each of the breads. The bread on the left is made from plain flour. It has a small amount of gluten. The bread in the center has been made from strong flour with a high gluten content, and you can clearly see that it has risen very well. And the wholemeal bread obviously is denser and thicker. So we could conclude from looking at this experiment that the best bread comes from making strong flour. In November, the food preparation task, and this is generally speaking the task that students enjoy most, because this is your opportunity to show off all of the skills that you developed throughout year 10 as well. You are challenged and asked to make 3 dishes with high level skills that relate to the topic that you have chosen. And here you can see these are examples of the students' past work, a year 11 student's past work. As well, you can see that the student has made 3 dishes. Again, all of them have high level skills. A little bit more information on the written exam. The written exam is worth 100 marks. There are 20 multiple choice style questions, and then there are 5 questions that each have a number of subheadings, and they are worth 80 marks. You get ample opportunity to practice exam style questions. There are many of these examples in the textbook and the revision guide. And after the February half term in year 11, then we will go over a lot of past papers so that you are adequately prepared and your exam technique will be good. When it comes to subject enrichment opportunities, Food and Nutrition offers lots of these. So, for example, you will have master classes from visiting chefs in year 10. We get people from the community to come in and demonstrate processes and techniques to you so that you see how something should be done from an expert. So you get a really good insight and you get plenty of opportunities to practice and to develop really good high-level practical skills. You get opportunities to participate in local and national culinary competitions. For example, we have our Skills for Life, which sadly couldn't take place this year because of COVID. And we have the Rotary Young Chef competition, which has been won by JCG students for a number of years. In 2016, one of our students, Sophie Robinson, she actually made it all the way through to the national final of this competition. And there were over 4,000 entries and she made it to the final 8. So wonderful opportunities for you to demonstrate your skills in competitions like this, and that's very beneficial for you for your NEA tasks in your exam. You will have a one-day work experience visit to a local hotel or a restaurant, so you can see behind the scenes what happens in hotels and restaurants, and you can learn some tips and techniques from the chefs. You will be involved in food preparation, and we generally do this just before you go out on your project Trident work experience. In September of year 11, just before we start NEA tasks, we will visit the BBC Good Food Show again, COVID permitting. This trip includes lots of opportunities again for you to practice skills. We'll visit the Bread Ahead Bakery School, which is situated near Borough Market. We get to tour around Borough Market, look at all the wonderful ingredients and produce from all around the world and all around the UK. We visit Le Cordon Bleu Cookery School. We visit the Chocolate Museum. We go to Mayfair, to an upmarket restaurant that belongs to Sean Rankin as well, Fleming's Hotel in Mayfair. And we will have dinner there. It's an opportunity for you to see what a fine dining experience is like and to see how foods are presented in top London restaurants as well. We also do a walk, talk, eat tour where we walk for 2.5–3 hours around the East End of London, and we look at the different cultures and the impact that they've had on foods that you often see in London and London restaurants, because London is very multicultural as well. The BBC trip as well, we spend all day on the Friday at the BBC Good Food Show, and you will see lots of celebrity chefs and you have opportunities to participate in masterclasses, so hands-on opportunities to practice your skills, so that you really are well prepared for your NEA 2 task. We also use our skills as food students to participate in the Shelter Trust Soup Kitchen. We're the only school in Jersey that has been supporting this charity for a number of years now. And this year we made over 400 portions of soup for the charity. And we were obviously instrumental in helping them raise over £14,500. So lots and lots of opportunities for you to put your practical skills to good use. You can get involved, of course, in house competitions to fundraise by baking. You can, like I said, practice again and again, and at the same time raise funds for worthwhile causes. We do work closely with the British Nutrition Foundation, and we're involved in a number of initiatives that promote healthy eating. In 2019, we were chosen as the school to launch National Healthy Eating Week, and we had a visit from the Princess Royal, which was a wonderful day at JCG, a very memorable day for everybody. Currently, at this point, I would say to you that we're looking at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee competition and making a pudding for that. So we're always keen to get involved in interesting events and initiatives. On this slide, I'm showing you an example of a Year 11's practical work in an NEA2 task. Here you can see examples of various skills that this student is demonstrating. The student is making a chicken and vegetable pie, and you can clearly see an example of really good knife skills, and obviously including lots of vegetables. This student has boned and portioned a whole chicken because it's very economical to do that, and it allows the student to demonstrate high-level technical skills. You see photographs showing the process of cooking the chicken and the vegetables, making the sauce, making the pastry, and combining everything together. Then the student has carried out a nutrition analysis, and obviously the nutrition analysis shows that it is high in saturated fat, so she will be challenged to modify that, to improve it and lower the saturated fat content. So some of the tasks, again, depending on the topic that you're looking at, for example, if this was made for the cardiovascular disease, then this certainly would not be deemed suitable because of the high saturated fat content. Here are some more examples of Year 11 practical work, again from 2021. And again, you see a wide variety of skills that we practice as well. We look at filleting a fish. We make ice creams and sorbets and pastries, puff pastry, sweet chocolate pastry, choux pastry, different kinds of gelatos and ice creams, mayonnaises, lots and lots of high-level skills. These are taken from, as I said, the 2021 cohorts exam work. These are some more examples. I wanted you to see the wide range of things that we do. So you can clearly see a student making spinach ravioli here on the side, and that again is deemed a high-level skill. We have lots of equipment that we only use for GCSE students, so you will be have access to those. At the back you can see photographs of choux swans, somebody who has made choux pastry but piped it into little swans for one of the tasks that they were looking at, sweet chocolate pastry, amongst other things, and cream horns actually made with homemade puff pastry. Everything on those plates is actually made from fresh ingredients from scratch. And this is part of the reason why food students do so well in the exam. Historically, since 2016, I'm really proud of the work, and students have received grades in bands 7 to 9. Last year, for example, 44% of students, you will see this in the GCSE prospectus, 44% of food students had a grade 9, 80% were in the 8 to 9 band, and 100% of students were in 7 to 9. And they are some of, like I said, the best exam results we had last year at JCG. So you might be thinking, what kind of opportunities will this course give me? Well, it will first of all equip you with essential life skills. It'll be excellent preparation for independent living when you leave home for employment, or for example, when you go to university. It's really important that you know how to take care of yourself, know how to cook, and understand the contribution of a good diet to your overall health and well-being. It'll also open up a host of other potential career and university opportunities for you. You could, for example, go on to do a food science degree. You could look at areas of human and sports nutrition. You could look at food business management, food marketing, nutrition and public health, environmental health areas, or nutritional therapy. There are a wide range of university courses that this course will help you prepare for. You could, for example, as a career, think about things like going into marketing, into food science, quality control, being a biochemist, a product developer, agricultural scientist, nutritionist. As I said, lots and lots of opportunities. for you to take this skill further. So that is basically an overview of what the course entails. Now, you might have other questions. Apologies for the fact that we weren't able to go live earlier because of a technical issue. If you want to email me, please feel free to do so. Or better still, we can have a chat in your next lesson, or you're most welcome to pop in at lunchtime if you have any questions. Thank you for listening. Bye.